Hey guys! So today I'm going to be doing the fourth installment in my series of videos covering the top 10 pieces of artwork from each of Anachronism's 7 sets. This installment will cover set number 4. First off, at number 10, I have Cyrus the Great by Michael Komark. Cyrus the Great was the founder of the Achaemenid Empire, and his reign lasted for about 30 years. Cyrus the Great is recognized for his achievements in human rights, politics, military strategy, and his contributions to both Eastern and Western civilizations. He conquered the mighty Babylon and expanded the Persian Empire on all fronts. I really like this piece because I really like how the artist drew the sunset, Cyrus the Great's clothes, and the tower in the background, which I presume to be the Tower of Babel. According to a biblical account, the Tower of Babel was built so high that it was intended to reach the heavens themselves. So at number 10, Cyrus the Great. At number 9, I have Mithridates VI by Matthew Armstrong. Mithridates VI was also known as the King of Kings, and was considered one of the greatest rulers of the Kingdom of Pontus. He was also considered one of the Roman Republic's most formidable and successful enemies. His military genius represented such a threat to the Roman Republic that 3 separate wars were actually required to bring him down. Pompey secured final victory against him in the Third Mithridatic War. And I'm actually not sure what's going on in this piece. I kind of wish I had the full-size artwork to get a better idea of what's going on. It sort of appears that Mithridates VI is holding the helmet of a fallen Roman soldier. Nonetheless, I think it's a pretty cool piece. So at number 9, Mithridates VI. At number 8, I have D'Artagnan by Jim Pavelek. D'Artagnan served Louis XIV as captain of the Musketeers of the Guard. A fictionalized version of his life was published in the very famous novel, The Three Musketeers. The real D'Artagnan was a musketeer proper, who rose to the position of commander of the King's Grand Musketeers, the most coveted military appointment in France. I think this piece is really cool, and I particularly liked the colors the artist chose to use. I think the background, the horses, and the action are all really awesome. So at number 8, D'Artagnan. At number 7, I have Marduk by Michael Komark. Marduk is a late generation god of ancient Mesopotamia and the patron deity of the city of Babylon. According to the flavor text, Marduk defeated the goddess Tiamat and her army of demons. The Tower of Babel was erected in Marduk's honor, and was intended to reach the heavens themselves. And this is a pretty peculiar piece of artwork. I'm actually curious as to why Marduk has a second pair of eyes, and I'm curious as to what the serpent is. Marduk kind of reminds me of a genie in this piece. Nonetheless, it's still a really awesome piece. So at number 7, Marduk. At number 6, I have Mac an Luin by Therese Nielsen. The weapons of all great Irish warriors had names of their own. This weapon belonged to a warrior named Finn, and means son of the waves. This piece actually reminds me a lot of another one of Therese Nielsen's pieces from Anachronism, the Bajizwa from set number 2, in that they both include an animal next to the weapon. I really do like the touch of the crab and the ocean next to the weapon in this piece, as it truly does appear to be a son of the waves. So at number 6, Mac an Luin. At number 5, I have Palta by Matthew Armstrong. The palta was a Persian javelin, roughly about 4 feet long, that had throwing straps that were used to increase the power and range of a weapon when the iron spearhead struck an enemy. Many of the Persian troops were equipped with these light javelins. Horsemen would use the palta as their primary offensive weapon, while reserving their swords more for defense. I think this is a really well-drawn piece. I like the colors the artist used in the background, and I like how the trees and plants are kind of warping around the horse and its rider. I also think the horse looks really cool in all its awesome armor. So at number 5, Palta. At number 4, I have Wakian by Jim Nelson. Wakian is known in English as the Thunderer or Thunderbird, and is the great sky spirit of Sioux mythology. It had wings that made the sound of thunder, and eyes that shot lightning. It was known for its legendary strength and power. I really like this piece of artwork, and it actually kind of reminds me of artwork from one of my favorite collectible card games, Hearthstone. One of the coolest things about the artwork from Anachronism is that despite being a smaller collectible card game, many of the same artists that did the artwork for Anachronism also did artwork for two of the most popular collectible card games of all time, Magic the Gathering and Hearthstone. That's one of the things I think that makes the Anachronism artwork so cool, is just the really high quality artists that they were able to get. This piece, Wakion, is definitely no exception. So at number 4, Wakion. At number 3, I have Ka'e Bulga by Greg Staples. The Ka'e Bulga is a spear from Irish mythology that belonged to the very famous warrior Cú Chulainn. Its name means spear of mortal pain or death, and it was actually made from the bones of a sea monster. Cú Chulainn actually used it to kill both his own foster brother and his own son. And I really love the detail in this piece. It appears that Cú Chulainn is engaged in a battle with his opponent in some sort of swamp, and Cú Chulainn has definitely gotten the best of his opponent, fully impaling him with the Ka'e Bulga. It definitely looks like a very fearsome and powerful weapon. So at number 3, Ka'e Bulga. At number 2, I have Cú Chulainn himself by Greg Staples. Cú Chulainn is a famous Irish mythological hero. He got the name Cú Chulainn, meaning Cullen's Hound, after he slayed a vicious guard dog belonging to a smith named Cullen. He is known for his great size and masculine beauty, and his superhuman exploits have been comparable to those of the Greek hero Achilles. And I really like how intense and violent this piece is. It's quite similar in style to the previous piece, the Ka'e Bulga. I also think the detail in the warriors and the background look really cool. So at number 2, Cú Chulainn. And finally at number 1, I have Mór Rian by Greg Staples. Mór Rian is a figure in Irish mythology primarily associated with fate, especially foretelling doom and death in battle. In this role, she appears as a crow, flying above the battlefield. She is also associated with sovereignty, the land, and livestock. And to me, this was a clear-cut choice as my favorite piece of artwork in set number 4. The woman depicted is so amazingly drawn, and I love her vivid red dress and the attention to detail given to her hair. I also like the ocean setting, and I think the waves splashing up behind her is also a nice touch. I also appreciate the fact that they added the crow in the background, as I mentioned before, Mór Rian is often depicted as a crow flying above the battlefield. So number 1, Mór Rian. That concludes my top 10 pieces of artwork for set number 4. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys tune in for set number 5. Until next time. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out my other videos related to this card game.